All right, our next section is Chapter 4, Section 3, Proportions and Percent Equations. So the key to solving any of these problems is to know this little trick right here. Percent over 100 equals is over of. Doesn't make much sense yet unless you've seen it before, but you'll see how it'll really help you figuring out these problems. This will be on a poster in the classroom, so you will have access to this when you're taking the tests in case you forget it, but make sure that you have that in your notes. All right, so now what does each of these mean? Obviously the percent is the percent. The is the part, and the of is the whole, the total. So now let's use that to solve one of these problems. Here we are finding the percent. Obviously, let me go back for a second. Obviously there's three things that could be missing. Either you're going to be missing the percent, and they'll give you the is and they'll give you the of, or you'll be missing the is, and they'll give you the percent and they'll give you the of, or you'll be missing the of, and they'll give you the percent and the is. The 100 always stays the same, so there's no changing that. And the way that I remember that, this is the percentage, so a percent is something out of 100. So if you have 50%, the way that I like to think about it is 50, the word per means fraction, and cent means 100. So it's 50 out of 100. That's what 50% really means. Just a side note there. So let's do the first example. It says, what percent of 80 is 18? So using our little notes up here, we don't know what the percent is. So the percent is going to be x, or whatever variable you want. The 100 stays the same. And now we just have to figure out what is the is and what is the of. Well, you could see the is close to the 18 and the 80, so that's kind of hard to tell. So what you want to look for is, where is that of? The of is close to the 80. That means that 80 is the of and 18 is the is. Whatever it's closer to, that's what it is. So it's going to be 18 because the is goes in the numerator, over 80 because that's the of and that goes in the denominator. And now just like before, we want to cross multiply, so I used n here. It's no big deal though, same thing. So we would do n times 80, which would be 80n, and then 100 times 18 on the other side. So this is still 80n. 100 times 18 would just be 1800. And then we would divide by 80 on both sides, so that way these cancel, and we get n equals 22 and a half. You have to be careful when you use this trick though. If you look back at the problem, we were finding the percent. That means that my answer has to have the percent symbol by it. You cannot forget that. Look back, and if you were finding the percent, make sure you put the percent symbol. So the answer is 22.5%. Okay, next, finding the part. Find 75% of 320. So now percent goes in the numerator. We have that, so it's going to be 75 over 100 equals, we do not have any is, so that's where our x will be. And then the of is obviously the 320. So there's our proportion. So now we cross multiply, and we would do 100 times a, which is 100a, and then 75 times 320. So this is 100a. 75 times 320 is 24,000. And then divide both sides by 100. These cancel, and you get a equals 240. Now, were we finding the percentage here? No, we were not. So our answer is simply 240. You don't need to put the percent with it. In fact, if you put the percent with it, it would be incorrect. Okay, last example now, finding the whole. So now we have 20 is, that's our is right there, and we have the percentage, which is 40. So it's going to be 40%, so 40 over 100. The is 20, but now we're missing the of. We don't know what the of is. So there's our proportion. And again, we cross multiply, so 100 times 20 equals 40x. 100 times 20 would be 2,000. And then we divide both sides by 40. And so 2,000 divided by 40 is 50. The 40s cancel, so the answer is 50. Again, since we were not finding the percentage, our answer is simply 50, and that's it. We're done. That's it for today, guys. Bye-bye.